Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures, and today we've got from Grimskull, or Wargames Exclusive, or whatever you want to call them, the new Necrocyborg Awaken Lord, and despite the silly English name, it is a pretty cool looking new Cryptek style model. So if you're looking for a new Necron type model to use, this is your thing. And I say thing because I'm not sure what gender this is supposed to be. Taking a closer look at the actual model, I got in a big old argument with my brother Barzam over whether this model actually had feet. And to dispel any possible thoughts, yeah, it does. But you'll notice there are tentacles all over the place, and it's going to be using those tentacles to keep itself upright. And you'll have to excuse the paint all over my fingers. I've been busy painting, and I did not have time to go clean them off because I was too excited to get this in the mail. So I'm noticing that there are actually different points to connect: circle, triangle, square, and I think that's it. There's a very intricate pattern, and obviously, like I said, it's supposed to be a very Cryptek-like model, and we'll pop out our painted Cryptek here in just a sec. Let's take a look at some of the other piles of goodies that are included here. So we have these two edges of the cloak. I want to say these go on the front. Where exactly, I have absolutely no idea. I'm assuming they're going to flutter somewhere around like that. We'll get it all figured out and take a look online. We've got our big traditional staff, which most of the Necron types like to use. Obviously, we're going to have a hand for it. There we go. If I can pick it up. No, I can't. There is your hand to hold said staff. Set that to the side. And like I said earlier, we have a couple of tentacles that are going to be used to prop our model up. Nice, good cast, I gotta say. I built a couple of the older Necrocyborgs that Grimskull makes, and I gotta say, the feeling of it, the heft of it, the chunk of it, the clarity and depth of the details on it is really nice, especially compared to the older stuff. I thought it was a lot softer, mushier, hard to see. This is really nicely cast. Of course, most of their modern stuff is also, CG sculpted renders, so that helps as well. And the cooler thing about this model, besides the fact that it has tentacles, is it's got a whole bunch of arms, 4 arms to be exact. So you've got a orb, I forget what they're called, that the Necrons or Necrocyborgs like to use, and then you've got a pair of dual blades as well, because why stop with only one set of melee weapons, right? And then to further cement its cryptekness, that's not even a word, but we're going to make it up. You've got these extra claw pylon type things that are going to attach to its back. Now, I could have sworn there was actually a scarab-like thing that attached as well, but I guess I was mistaken, and I have absolutely no idea where these are supposed to go on. I'm assuming in these two little posts right here. Perhaps like this? I don't know if that's supposed to plug in as well, but I do know it's supposed to have those on its back. It wouldn't surprise me if it actually has both plugs. I will take a closer look, but you can kind of get the idea. So yeah, just like the scarab that goes with the new Cryptek, and then it's got a very nice custom 40mm base. You can see the indentations here where you're supposed to have some of the tentacles go, and I'm assuming something is going to get lodged in that square there. What? I don't know. I'm going to guess this tentacle? Perhaps? Perhaps not, but it's possible. We'll get it all figured out. I'm going to go ahead and try to build our Cryptek, and then we'll see where all of its extra goodies here all go. Because if there's one thing I love, it's trying to puzzle out how to build some of these crazy complex models, and hopefully I can save you guys some frustration in the process. We'll be back. So I wanted to stop right now and show you guys where we are progress-wise with our Awaken Lord, because this is pretty cool the way everything kind of goes together. So as I said earlier, the tentacles all have their own little special spot, and it's kind of cool because what I thought was actually supposed to be an attachment point maybe actually is that little slot there, but it's actually where this part of his cloak is going to go. And the whole thing just kind of sets like that. And he's got plenty of contact points, which is nice, because you'd think with the model with all these little pointy edges and tips, everything is actually touching the base somewhere. Every single piece of robe and tentacle. So obviously except that one. So very cool. And you can see it's going to be a kind of a tight fit here. So if you want to get that stuff underneath where these extra spiky scarab-like claws are going to go, you might want to paint that first. I'm just going to go all at it. The other challenging issue is going to be, and you can see all the extra glue I shoved in there to fill in the gap. Since the arms are ball jointed, you're really kind of left to your own devices as to how you want to do them. I'm going to put the lower arms with the blades. I'm not sure how I'm going to position them exactly yet. We'll figure that out. But you might want to make sure if you wanted to paint this inside, it might be kind of a pain to get to afterwards. I'm just going to go ahead and attach everything. We'll see how it turns out, right? And our Awaken Lord is pretty much finished here. Letting the glue dry, but you can see how I've attached the arms. And as I've said on many occasions on this YouTube channel, the more limbs, the merrier. So this is right up my alley. But how's it compare to any other models you might own in your collection? Well, I'm glad you asked that, or at least thought that, or even if you didn't, I don't really care, because I have another Cryptek right on hand for just such an occasion. So obviously the GW one is a little bit taller. This was painted by Barzan. This is not mine. Mine was more boring and simple, but he did a nice job on this. I don't think the base is finished, but that's okay. If it is, well, it needs improvement. So, whatever. You can see here how he stacks up with some other more typical figures you may have handy and laying around. I don't have any of the other Necrocyborgs handy, unfortunately, but at least this should give you a good idea of what you're getting into. It's on a smaller base than the new Cryptek, but it's definitely on a bigger base than any of the other Necron-type models that you may own. I can't think of any that were on 40s other than the one Spider Dude and the new Necron Lord. But, I mean, this model is unique enough that I think you could probably get away with using it for just about anything in an actual Necron army. And that's kind of the cool part about it. I really like when companies, especially companies that kind of live and breathe in that GW environment, you know, do something a little bit different, but still have a lot of similar notes getting hit. So, cool little model. Not that little, but you know what I mean. Anyway, hope you guys found this helpful. We'll put a link down below if you're curious about getting one of your own. I don't think I've seen any in American distribution yet, but Wargames Exclusive website is pretty good about getting stuff sent out fairly quickly. So with that said, this is High Lord Tamerlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we'll be back with more, and hopefully you'll be joining us. See you all later. Bye-bye.